This was all the characters that we grew up with in the same movie.
Yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
similar to 1996 when they threw all the people into the original Scream, where you're like, holy shit, every hot chick from that generation. Yeah. They threw the book at us again. Never felt so good.
So good. So good. So good. I've been inclined
to believe you never would.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another delightfully delectable episode of Horror Whiskey Company. I am your primary host, the one who's always here. I'm joined by my guest, Jamie.
Hey, nice to meet you. All right.
So we decided to flip it around on you guys here.
Well, here's the deal. I'm here to let you know, which I usually don't, is what we're covering tonight. So, all right, Horror Whiskey Company listeners, grab a drink, lock the doors, because tonight we're going full ghost face.
Face.
Shut up, you little bitch.
I'm going to gut you.
In this episode, your official spoiler warning, we are absolutely covering, spoiling, dissecting, and unapologetically giving our very, very biased opinions on the latter half of the Scream movies. We're talking about Scream 4, we're talking about Scream 2022, and we're talking about Scream 6. Nothing is safe. Motives will be questioned, killers will be named, and yes, someone is definitely going to get dragged. Ooh. We're doing this as a fall lead up to Scream 7 hitting theaters February 27th. So if you're trying to stay spoiler free, this is your sign to pause, watch the movies, and come back with a fresh pour. Yeah, if you're honestly, ready for hot takes, bad decisions, franchise debates, and the kind of analysis you only get from a couple with congrats, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's talk legacy characters, what the new rules are, and whether the franchise is still stabbing its way to greatness, or just answer the phone out of habit. Cheers. And remember, what's your favorite scary sequel?
Dude, you killed it.
Ah, dude. So, with that being said, it wouldn't be a Horror Whiskey Company episode if we didn't talk about what we're drinking.
Always green. Always green. Green, green. Always green. Green, 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 green. Always green. All right. I've got Jameson. I've got Dos Equis. You know what it is. Drinking the green tonight. Me and Charlie drinking green. Jamie, what are you drinking?
Well, usually I have a cocktail theme to the shows we're watching, but I don't think that I could ever outdo the Ghost of Woodsboro cocktail that I had for the Scream. So yeah, I didn't really want to make one.
That's fair.
Because I thought that was good. So what I did instead is I made what I'm calling Peter's Perfect Pink Drink, which is a Cosmo. Because if we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube,
an asshole.
This is what Peter is going to drink for an entire year. Now, with that
They're
said,
gross.
With that said, I kept you in mind when I made this. What I did is I made it with Pink Whitney.
My heart.
So this is a Pink Whitney.
See that? I got my heart hands up, dude.
Lime juice and Contro.
Wow.
And Pink Whitney. And that's all she wrote.
No crayon.
It's already in there.
Oh.
And when I say this is probably the best Cosmo I've ever had, it's because you get that pink lemonade that only Ryan Whitney knows how to do.
You're so good, dude. You're good, man. You're good. Thinking of me.
This is made for you, my friend. And
wow.
I can't wait for you to taste it because it is very good.
Pink drink. Now I'm excited. I hope we hit 1,000. I was kind of bummed out for a little bit.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Now, hot take. What do you garnish? What do you garnish a Cosmo with?
Lime twist.
Lime twist. See, I was always a lemon twist. And the reason being is because I watched a YouTube video back in the day of the guy
I think I meant to say lemon twist.
The guy that created it did it for a competition for Absolute Citron.
Yep.
And so he did it with a lemon twist.
Yep.
And everywhere I know,
Citron is a lemon vodka.
Mm-hmm. And everywhere I knew, I always did it with a lime.
Yep.
Including
Wedge.
Sex in the City. Yes, lime wedge. Now, where I work now, they do it with an orange.
Really? See, I like that.
And I started looking at it, and most craft cocktail bars do it with an orange.
Yeah. Okay. That's another, I think that it's pretty wild. I've been drinking Boulevardiers for the last year, maybe plus. It's probably my go-to cocktail, pretty much like a whiskey Negroni. But instead of, your traditional Negroni is running an orange, a lemon twist just makes the Boulevardier blow up. It is the perfect addition. If you haven't tried it, try it with a lemon twist. Can't go wrong.
I don't want to be cocktail nerd about things, but it's crazy how much a little the twist of a certain citrus changes a cocktail for the better, and it really does.
Yeah, twist or peel in that one actually. A peel would probably honestly be better.
To Peter's perfect pink drink. And look how beautiful this is.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for just being bartender, dude. You're a little mixologist, you.
Don't even say it. I'm not. I'm just a bartender. A simple boy that's a bartender.
Well, without further ado, James, are you ready to jump into this?
I am.
All right. I think before we get to that, we do need to mention, guys, this is, I know the title is going to say it. This is the second episode covering the Scream franchise. So the first episode covered 1 through 3. This episode is going to cover 4 through 6. So if you missed the first episode, unless you don't care what we had to say about the original trilogy, which is totally fair, you feel free to do so. Just know you're wrong. Go back and listen to that one first, then do this one. The movie opens, Scream 4 opens with a meta fake out. Multiple opening scenes that turn out to be movies within movies, immediately mocking remake culture. The story begins when Sidney Prescott returns to Woodsboro after the anniversary of the original murders and a stop on her self-help book tour. Almost instantly, Ghostface resurfaces, killing teenagers connected to Sidney's cousin, Joel Roberts, Sheriff Dewey, and Gail Weathers, now married and kind of feeling stuck, are pulled back into the chaos as the killer targets a new generation that knows the rules of horror but believes that they can outsmart them. The murders escalate around a high school event and a late night after party, blending brutal kills with commentary on reboots, fame, and specifically social media and internet obsession. In the final act, the survivors gather at the character Kirby's house, where the killers are revealed to be Jill and her friend, horror nerd Charlie. Charlie has been doing the dirty work, believing he's part of the new horror legacy of Stab. But Jill betrays him, revealing her true motive. She wants Sidney's fame without earning it. Jill stages an elaborate self-inflicted attack to frame Charlie as the soul killer and herself as the new final girl. But Sidney, Gail, and Dewey survive, and they expose her plan. The film ends with Jill's desperate need for attention literally killing her, cementing Scream 4 as a dark take on celebrity culture, where notoriety matters far more than truth, and being famous is the real motive behind the mask.
This is directed by Wes Craven, and
we have our original duo back.
Kevin Williamson. The original two are back, and this is sadly the last time we'll see this. Because Wes Craven, R.I.P., passes away before anything else happens.
Question, is this his last movie?
I don't know that. I think he passed away in 2014, so there was a 3-year gap between this. This movie is meant to usher a new generation into Scream movies and pass the torch to new characters. But do you think it really did that?
I loved this movie. I thought that this movie was awesome. As far as passing a torch, I think for sure this movie did, are we 10 years removed How far down the road are we with this movie?
So this
From
is 2011.
when Scream 3 released. Yeah.
Scream 3 was 2000.
Okay.
And Scream 4 was 2011. So
Okay.
we're 11 years away.
Yep. So I think that, I think it really does. This movie did a really good job of not just giving us the vibe of Scream, but staying true and introducing newcomers into the genre to the Scream franchise. We talked about it as soon as you watched it. You're like, holy shit, there are so many famous people in this. In the first 10 minutes of the movie, it is like every single popular actress was featured in the first 10 minutes of this movie, right? Because we have that like little the whatever we want to call it, the cold open, where it keeps getting more and more meta, where the movies are like people are dying in the movie within the movie kind of thing. Nev Campbell and David Arquette and Courtney Cox are staples. They are the Scream staples, but they're the generation before me.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated high school in 2009. These are the television and TV and movie actors that I was like, these are the people that I'm watching right now. So to see them in this movie was really cool.
Well, it was like Kristen Bell.
Yes, Kristen Bell. Yeah,
Who
we
else
have Lucy Hale, who is a little bit later with Pretty Little Liars.
So what, like we said, when it was a meta beginning, they played the original Scream part and they made it seem like it was like a new remake in 2011 where there's like phone parts involved. And then when that happens, it cuts to two girls watching Stab. And one of the girls is like, I don't think that's a good way to start Stab. And the other girl's like, you don't? And fucking stabs her. And then it cues into the next two sets of girls watching another movie of Stab. So
yeah, we have Stab 5, 6, and 7 in this. And they are like, the only reason I know that is because we were up to, by the time Scream 3 came out, we were up to Stab 3. Right? Mm-hmm. We are now watching Scream 4 and Stab 4 is completely skipped. We are now up to Stab 5, 6, and 7 in these opening credit scenes where we have everything from girls getting chased through the house to Kristen Bell absolutely brutally murdering Anna Paquin, just stabbing her straight in the stomach because she won't shut the fuck up and she just wants to watch her movie.
Like I said, this is a hottie overload of movies. You're very nice. You were like,
literally,
you were like, oh, there's a lot of cool people that we've seen in this. I'm like, when I texted Peter, I'm like, holy shit, hottie central, because this was all the characters that we grew up with in the same movie. Very similar to 1996 when they threw all the people into the original Scream, where you're like, holy shit, this is every hot chick from that generation. They threw the book at us again.
Yep, and they sure did.
I'm going to throw it out right now. Kirby is hands down the best character in this movie.
Oh, no question. Kirby's the best.
Hayden Panettiere is so good.
She is kind of our like stand-in for Randy, I would say.
Yeah, she's
kind of. I guess that's not necessarily true, but
I don't know.
Because we have the movie nerds, right? We have Kieran Culkin and his buddy are the movie nerds, but what I did like is that this movie, it's strange how these movies have always kind of been, for lack of a better word, a lot about like gatekeeping of like, who's the real horror movie fan? Like, oh, you don't know this trivia and you don't know this and that. Well, you're not the real fans because you don't know this and that trivia. And I think that Hayden Panettiere is the perfect juxtaposition to what we have known as like Randy, who has always been the absolute answer that we have, that is kind of represented by the horror movie nerds in this, aka Kieran Culkin's character.
My question for you is, do you think Scream 4 actually is the most accurate horror movie about internet fame at this time?
At that time, it's funny watching it because this movie takes place in 2011. It's not 2022 or something like that, when we already like, this is pretty early into the I did not have a smartphone when this movie came out. So for the writer and the director, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, to incorporate and predict how like ubiquitous all of this blogging or live streaming or internet culture would take over everything, I thought was awesome. And yeah, for sure, especially in this franchise, it's the best representation of the tie-in to internet culture for sure.
Absolutely.
All time. I mean, there's movies that are specifically just made about internet culture, so I can't say that. I'm thinking like Deadstream and a couple other, like, I wouldn't call them as high profile movies, but this movie did such a great job at putting the question to us, like, what is fame? What is it worth? How do you get it? And how far will you go to get it?
Yeah. Do you think this movie didn't age well?
No, I think, I mean, I guess I don't exactly know. What do you think didn't necessarily age well in this?
The only thing I saw was I thought it was a little bit too much of the same movie as Scream.
Uh-huh.
And I also maybe thought that it was two old men writing about how they think to kids or kids would perceive the movie.
Yeah, I think that by this point, we're talking about Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first Scream when he was in his 20s. We are now almost 20 years later. He's in his late 30s when he writes this movie. Doesn't have the same grasp on teen culture like he used to.
Exactly.
So I totally can understand that, but I don't think he wrote it at all inaccurate. I mean, I don't know where he sources his material from, but I honestly thought that the women in this, specifically, like, we're talking about how good Kirby was. Like, she pretty much, like, in the first Scream, we don't have someone that contends with Randy and Billy on their knowledge of horror. We have Hayden Panettiere in this one who contends with Kieran Culkin's character. I have to look his name up because I'm just going to keep saying Kieran Culkin's character. Sorry, Rory Culkin. Charlie, right? Mm-hmm. Charlie is supposed to be our horror buff, but Hayden Panettiere is right. Like, she pushes him and says, actually, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. Goes toe to toe with him on that. Also, Sydney is, like, at one point, like, when their friend is across, the one scene where he's like, I'm in the closet. I didn't say which closet. And then we turn around and it's happening in the house behind us. Such an awesome scene, first of all. But Sydney Prescott literally just, like, books it into the house. She doesn't give a fuck about who she is and her safety anymore. She's like, I'm going to save this girl. Granted, doesn't happen.
And it makes sense how, like, much of a badass Sydney is now because she's fucking been through it. Like,
she's heard the shit.
Well, she's exactly. She is, like, so much more badass than Gail, in my personal opinion. Like, I think Gail seems like she would, like, is always there, but, like, Sydney just, like, looks at situations and turns around and she's, like, there no matter what.
Well, Sydney is like a doer, and we get to see that in this series. Gail is our and I hate to say this, feel bad for Gail, because I don't like Gail as a character. But at the end of the day, Gail is as much of a final girl as anyone in any of these movies is.
Yes, she is.
Right? She is a survivor, but Gail is a little different. She is the reflection. She is the monetization. She's everything that we, like, don't want to do with these traumatic incidences, right? So it's really interesting. I see Gail as this weird, like, force of trauma, right? Like, you can't let things go because Gail is making you remember them. You have to deal with it. And I think Gail catches a lot of flack for that. And yeah, she's fucking annoying and you don't want to like Gail. But at the end of the day, Gail is a fucking strong character. And I think the reason why she gets so much hate, not from necessarily Sydney in this movie, because I think that Gail and Sydney have kind of reconciled, but from the audience, we're just not supposed to like her. And I think that really is, like, almost, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but this, like, cheeky commentary on addressing trauma. Gale is the person that is reminding you of what happened. And until you address it, you'll never move on.
So do you think Scream 4 is more cynical than the original Scream? And do you think that's a good thing?
Do I think it's more what?
Cynical.
No, I guess, I don't know. Cynical. I think that the original Scream was like the epitome, I think, of cynical, where we have these characters who just, it's all nothing, none of it matters. The deaths that happen to us, we don't care about. Oh yeah, half of my, homeroom class just died, but I don't really care, that kind of thing. I think that we start to get into characters that really matter to us when they die. Mm-hmm. Most notably, like we have the friends here. Kirby's death mattered a lot. When we thought Charlie died, it mattered a lot. So I think it's a little less cynical.
Also, in the original Scream, everything was hiding in plain sight. We knew we should have had the steps the entire time that it was Billy and Stu.
Right.
Like looking back, you're like, yeah, they fucking told us.
It's super obvious, right? But we are now in what we know is like the reboot phase of things, right? This movie acknowledges it. It's something that the franchise has always done effectively for the most part. And why I value it so much is that it tells us what we are watching, right? Mm-hmm. This is the remake, and it tells us what the rules are, and all this stuff. And in doing so, kind of tries to trick us. There's a lot of what I would call red herrings. They make you believe this person, then they make you believe it's this person, and then this person, and this person, and then this person, and then this person. This one totally fooled me.
You're gonna love this cocktail.
This movie completely fooled me, though. I had no idea who the fuck, because it was so many different people it could have been.
No, they did a really good job of the reveal. And then after that, I was like, all right. I didn't like the motives, but I loved the reveal. So, transitioning, is Jill Roberts the most disturbing motive in this franchise?
No, I don't think so. I think she is maybe the most understandable. At the end of the day, like, she sees, and I don't mean for this to be a dig on Sydney, but like, what has Sydney done besides not die? Like, granted, and like, but like for the casual viewer, right? Jill is so jealous of Sydney being famous. That is a very, very, like, those kind of things happen all the time. People are jealous of attention that other people get. It's maybe one of the biggest reasons people commit murders.
Yeah, so speaking of jealousy and manipulation, do you think Charlie was manipulated by Jill, or do you think he was interested in all this the entire time?
I mean, what do you think on this? I think Charlie's a tough one.
I think he wanted to be loved, and I think someone like Jill sorted after him and had the same like interests in like murdering, and I think she persuaded.
I would completely agree with that, especially because we see the end. He is like so fucking caught off guard when she, like, for those that haven't seen the movie, they reenact pretty much like the end scene, but it's not Billy and Stu anymore. It's Charlie and Jill. And Jill is supposed to stab Charlie in the fucking shoulder. Right? But she gets him pretty fucking bad straight to the fucking heart.
Yeah. And
like Stu.
This is why I didn't necessarily care for this one more than the other ones, because I felt like it was literally, they just took it and threw it again for another generation. I thought this was kind of a little bit more twist.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think, I loved this movie. And I think why I loved it is because I don't know why, but it's the familiar part is comforting, and then the different parts are jarring, right? Okay. This movie is so much more violent than we've seen in previous Screams.
Yeah, for sure. Like
right?
the first three were not that violent. There was like maybe 3 kills, where this was just
some of them there was a lot of kills, but like we're talking the 90s and the early 2000s. We are now in 2010, 2011. The ratings for what is allowed and what is not in movies have increased exponentially to the point where you can pretty much get away with anything at this point in horror. So we get way more brutal, more gory kills. To answer your question, I think this movie was good because not only did it's a reboot, right? We know it's a reboot. It tells us it's a reboot. It's going to challenge us in some way. And I think that one, having Jill be the killer, our final girl of the movie is our killer. I thought that was really cool. And two, it doesn't end at Stu Macher's house, or it doesn't end at Kirby's house in this case, right? We get the next scene. And I think that that's a huge departure. And it almost sets the scene for the coming movies of, we've never seen anyone in a hospital before. The movie always just ends with people being loaded up, right? And we think it's going to end there too. We think Sydney's dead. Yeah, and then we cut to the hospital. So I think the movie, yes, I could completely agree with you being like, yeah, it's the same movie, just in a different package with the newer age actresses. And
the killing of Jill, I only have one word to say to you. What? Clear.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Super cool, right? While I get that it does seem a little too close, I think it had its departures and it knew what it was being. And I think that's why the Scream franchise to me has always been so lovable. And so I think that it's been able to beat a lot of what happens to franchises is because it looks the pitfalls directly in the face and says, I know what our problem is. Here it is. Now watch me just tweak it enough to let you enjoy it.
Now, do you think that they tried to pass the torch of Sydney being the main character? And do you think she was replaced up until the end?
I think so. And that's why I think the reveal was moderately and I don't know why I didn't see it coming, because we have Emma Roberts as our final girl, who becomes in the early 2010s pretty much through the 2010s, the chick villain.
She'd be a bitch, dude.
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch. And I don't know why I didn't see it coming, because it was one of those things. It's of course it's Emma Roberts, and of course she's going to be the villain at the end, and she's going to be psycho about it. But the final girl being the bad guy didn't really cross my mind. And I think a lot of that has to do with how many times they made us look at that person and that person and that person and that person. I have my notes watching this, and there are 15 different people that I'm convinced are the killer.
Yeah.
And Jill was one of them. And Charlie was another one. But they tease it and then they pull it back and you forget about it.
It's like Deputy, right? Is it Jan?
Oh, the girl, police deputy Judy Hicks, who pretty much is kind of our stand-in for Dewey in this.
Yeah,
she's a little lovable.
Well, she idiot. Also that scene where Sydney gets out of Jill's room and she's like, "Hey, I'm still here.
You don't remember me?"
Whoa,
dude! I have also this scene, and maybe it's from another horror movie and it's not David Arquette, but I thought that it was gonna be someone who was involved in the initial one somewhere along the lines. And granted, we're gonna go all the way up to Scream 7 in this, but I thought for sure it was gonna be they forgot about us. They forgot we were people, right? We're just names and a story now. We're not humanized anymore. And I swear, maybe I must have dreamt it. And I thought that this was going to be the movie that I remember something like this happening. And I just was caught completely by surprise by Jill. Not super surprised by Charlie.
Yeah, I think Jill was a great job.
Yeah, I mean, the movie ends and there's the hospital scene where Jill gets fucking shocked and then shot in the fucking head. She dead.
My last question about Scream 4 is, do you think it's better than Scream 3?
Man. That is going to be a day-by-day question. Right now, I am going to say, no, I do not think it is better than Scream 3. I think it is better than Scream 1 and 2, though.
Okay. Well,
how about you?
I don't think it's better than Scream.
Yeah.
It was like, other than the reveal and Kirby, I thought it was just like exactly what you'd expect from a 2011 movie trying to recreate Scream.
Yeah. I think that what I did like a lot in this movie, and looking into and doing research on this, like Wes Craven, despite how crazy his movies are, is like a little averse to violence. And I think that we get to see Wes Craven really digging in, particularly Anthony Anderson's getting stabbed in the fucking forehead.
Right through the, and it's so brilliant.
I think that's my favorite scene of the whole movie. Just because it's so funny with him and Adam Brody.
And he's still talking.
Yeah. Well, and Kevin Williamson had written that scene because he had read an article about a guy that had been something had impaled his brain, and he still kept moving around for another couple hours while he was dying.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely. Best kill scene of the entire movie.
Yep, no question.
Do you have anything else for Scream 4 before we go into Scream 2022?
I feel like there was like some really funny references. Again, I'm still almost mad at myself for not getting Jill as the killer. And just also hands down, Hayden Panettiere as Kirby was like the best character in this series, maybe for the entire franchise.
Yeah, I loved her
as a secondary character. Let's say
yes. That. All right.
So I think that's it.
Let's go into Scream 5 or Scream 2022.
So Scream 2022, aka Scream 5, opens in Woodsboro with the classic Ghostface style attack. High schooler Tara Carpenter is brutally stabbed after answering horror trivia questions on her phone, but she survives. Her estranged sister Sam returns to town, haunted by visions of her biological father, Billy fucking Loomis, one of the original killers from the 1996 Scream movie / stab movie / the Woodsboro murders. As new murders begin, Sam teams up with Tara's friend group, including Richie, Mindy, Chad, and Amber, and legacy survivors Dewey Riley, Gail Weathers, and of course, Sidney Prescott. Dewey helps them understand that a new Requel is underway. Rules are similar to the original, but everything is updated. Dewey is eventually killed by Ghostface, raising the stakes and confirming that this killer is more ruthless than ever before. Suspicion spreads as characters are picked off, and the film repeatedly blurs the lines between honoring the and exploiting it. The climax of the film takes place at a house party revealed to be the former home of Stu Macher, site of the original Woodsboro massacre. The killers are unmasked as Richie, Sam's boyfriend, and Amber, Tara's best friend. Fans obsessed with the Stab movies who want to fix the franchise after Stab 8 was a flop by creating real-life source material. Their motive isn't personal revenge, but toxic fandom. They believe extreme violence will force better sequels. Sam embraces her darker instincts, fueled by her connection to her father, Billy Loomis, and kills Richie, while Gail and Sidney finish off Amber. The film ends with Sam rejecting the idea that she's defined by the actions of her father, choosing her own adventure, while the survivors leave Woodsboro once again, scarred but alive after another cycle of violence, driven by obsession with legacy.
Pretty good, dude.
Hey,
nice job.
Thanks. I've only had the one beer so far.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm hammered. So this is unfortunately one of the first times, or the first time in Scream history, that we have new directors, because Wes Craven has passed away. So with that, we have Matt Benatelli open, and we have Tyler Gillett, and they are co-directed the film, and in the Scream installment, not directed by the late Wes Craven. Writers are James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. And then they give a little nod to Kevin Williamson, who serves as executive producer in this movie.
We should mention, this is a callback to you longtime listeners, aka Cheyenne. We spoke about a movie with this entire group tagged together previously in one of our first episodes, aka Abigail. This is the same directing and writing group as Abigail.
What? Oh, really?
I just thought that was fun. Yep.
I didn't know that. I didn't look that up.
Yep.
All right, good on them. So they just wrote Abigail.
Yep.
How'd you feel about this movie?
Oh, I loved this movie. I thought this movie was fantastic. I feel like you're shaking your head.
I loved it too.
Okay, good. Okay. I was going to say, man, are we really departing?
No, I kind of wanted to hate these new Scream movies, but I was like, these are fucking awesome.
Well, I think that, I know you have your questions here, but the real question is, how do we get a whole new cast and still, feed, especially for someone that loved the original movies and remember watching those and loving them a lot. Now I'm going back through watching these new movies. How do we feed the old audience and intrigue the new audience? I think that's the question that these guys had to fight with.
I think it was definitely more cinematic, and it was so fucking brutal. And I think that's why I liked it.
Yep.
It was so brutal.
Yeah, I think with this directing and writing pair, we definitely, because they are also the writers directors of the following Scream 6, we get to see Ghostface in a much more visceral and personal. It's funny because Ghostface has always used knives, and yet somehow the kills are kind of passive. They don't feel real personal. In this movie, we get to really see Ghostface personal, like emotional stabbing and killing of people.
Oh, yeah. Like, we just talked deputy, who's now detective, gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
In this movie.
You're talking about Deputy Judy Hicks. Pretty much, we have what we do in this movie is we have a few legacy. So in the last movie, we had what we would call a legacy character kind of introduced. We had Sydney, we had Gail, we had Dewey, but they were like actively involved in the story. They're still kind of our main characters. Even though it's about a 50-50 split, that is not the case anymore with this movie. No. We have a new cast of what we'd call teenagers who are being targeted by Ghostface.
Yeah, I feel like Sydney is only in it for like 22 seconds in this.
Yeah.
She like takes a call by Dewey and that's it.
Yeah.
It's just Gail and Dewey.
Yeah, of course I have a fucking gun. I'm Sidney Prescott.
Yeah, that's the best quote of
it's a really good line.
Scream franchise. So where do you think this ranks against the original trilogy and Scream 4?
I will put this, I'm going to put it at number 2 overall.
Whoa! All right.
Yes.
So we'll go to ranking later. I will put
this above. I'm really tempted to rank it number 1.
So let's skip.
But I'm going to put it as number 2.
We'll go from there. Right. So this movie openly explains its own formula. Do you feel it was clever or annoying?
Well,
the whole Requel thing.
Yeah, I think that we get, it's tough because as we are accustomed to with the Scream series, we get to know the rules of the game, right? And that's what we're talking about here. We get to understand what a requel is. I think that while it can be intrusive if you don't understand the franchise, it's one of my favorite parts of the franchise. Every movie is us getting to learn what it is we're dealing with in this movie. Knowing now this is a requel, which means that the
re-sequel. So instead of a sequel, it's a redoing of the original movie.
Well, not necessarily. So a requel is going to be, I'd almost want to call it like a spin-off where we're living in the same universe that all of this has.
We have the same legacy characters. Yes.
Yes. But we have new characters, right? The requel is going to be kind of a new, like a redo of the original, but not necessarily, because it's almost, we know that all this other stuff happened, and it can't, like, the reboot is the direct tie to the original, right? The requel is going to be kind of like the sequel or the second part, the spinoff to the next series. I don't know. It's honestly rather complicated. The requel sequel thing as we get in the next movie, maybe is stretching the lines a little too far. So what do you think about that?
I think it's same. I think they just like, it's like every remake or anything from now that was bringing up movies from the 90s. They're just smart about explaining it. They're like, well, we're just bringing up this series,
this idea,
and we're bringing our legacy characters and we're bringing new life to it.
Yeah, but this isn't a remake of the original, right? We have, honestly, in my opinion, a quite original story, whereas
it's ongoing.
Scream 4 was like, yes, we talked about this. They had their differences in what actually happened in the story, but Scream 5, Scream 2022 is like its own separate story. It's very original. We have the legacy characters returning, but we're not doing the same thing that's always been done or the same thing that was done in the original Scream or the reboot, right? We have an original story, and I think that that's really cool. We get to learn some new characters, and I thought that the characters were fucking awesome.
Well, I think it's also cool that they, instead of trying to reboot it, like we said, is they continued with the story and they kept it going. And it was just like new evolving cast members from that original story. Instead of them being like, this is Scream again. This is a reboot. It's a completely different universe. This is the same universe where the same characters from the original are there. And we have
they still exist. Yep.
And they're also related to the people from the beginning. Like,
yeah, do you think that kind of gave it credibility?
Yes, absolutely. And like the twins being related to Jamie Kennedy's character, which awesome characters.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I honestly, I did forget. I thought that they were his kids for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. Niece and nephew. Uncle Randy, they refer to him a lot, and which led me to believe that he was going to show up in this movie, and then he didn't. So I was really bummed out about that.
Fucking so murder, dude.
Okay, we talked in the last in Scream 4 about like passing the torch. I think that this was a super successful way. Like, take notes, everyone that is writing franchise movies. This is how you fucking pass a torch. You write in characters that are related, right? You don't need to write a whole new fucking story. But make something original we have the legacy characters that are tangential. They matter to the characters that we are now seeing, but they don't have to define the old story.
No, exactly. It's like Jamie Kennedy's niece.
Yeah. Just
Mindy just talks about how like Star Wars, like it's just like Star Wars where they have their legacy characters there. And they bring these new characters. That way, everyone that's old feels like, oh, okay, those are the people that I relate to. So I can also relate to these new people. That's what we're doing. And it worked.
Yeah. It's also really, the Star Wars references in this are really funny because we have the director of Stab 8. Rian Johnson is the director of Stab 8, who is also the director of the 8th Star Wars movie.
Yes, he was.
And how much people fucking hated that movie. We kind of just get it laid out straight out that these people are fucking nuts. And by these people, I mean literally us as, let's call it horror podcasters or movie review YouTubers or all of this stuff. Like, everyone is taking this shit so seriously, but to be fair, it's how people make a living kind of thing. But we get to understand our killers in this are our new character, Sam, her boyfriend, as well as the final girl's best friend. Did you see either of those coming?
No.
Really? I did not see Amber at all.
No, I definitely saw, like, when Dewey predicts, he's like, it's always the love interest. I'm like, that dude is
never trust the love interest. Yep.
He's definitely.
I took one look at Jack Quaid's stupid face and I was like, that's the fucking guy. As soon as I saw him show up in this movie, I was like, I'm going to be just completely off basis here, but that's got to be our killer. And fucking, I had zero evidence for that. So I will say that I got it right, but not by any reason of any means of deduction. I just said, that's the killer. It's Jack Quaid. He just has a murdery vibe to him. And maybe it's for like we watched Companion and stuff like that this year. We see him in like kind of a skeezy role. And for some reason, as soon as I saw him, I was like, that's the bad guy.
He was good in
I hate his face.
What's the superhero show on Amazon?
The Boys.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Yeah. He is. I'm not saying anything about him as an actor. I'm saying that for whatever reason, as soon as I saw him, I was like, that is the guy.
Yeah. Once Dewey said it, I was like, oh yeah, this dude's in trouble.
Yeah, they kind of leaned in a little hard there. But they did the same thing. They do it all the way through the franchise where they tease it and then they pull it back. And they tease it and they pull it back because they make you think that it's everyone. Instead of like not making you think that it's anyone and everyone could be innocent, they do, especially these later movies, do a really good job of being like, it's that person. No, it's that person. It's that person. It's that person. That's making you think that it could be anyone to where you're kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah. So I'm going to shift the focus a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about Dewey. And in this movie, I feel like, just like we talked about how Jack Quaid's character was, you knew right away that he was going to be the killer. I knew right away that Dewey was going to die. And the way that they treated him as a character in this movie.
I think that, compared to the previous, and we get to see Dewey and Gale a little bit on the rocks in Scream 4. We are now another 10 years later. Let's call it 9. But anyways, we're a bit later. We can see Dewey's in a bad spot. And the ultimate arc for someone that is in the position that he's in is to die a fucking hero.
Yeah.
And good for him. He gets it. He gets that. He gets granted the hero's death. You can see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, but they painted him.
It's so sad.
I know, they painted him. I didn't like his ending at all.
Really?
Because, I just he's such a beloved character. And they were just like, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm down and out. The whole way he did it was awesome. He's like, I have to make sure this character's dead and dies. Is definitely honorable. But the way they painted him in this movie, I just didn't think it was justice to him, because it should have been the last 30 seconds of this movie, or the last, the ending part. He should have saved someone and died, in my opinion.
Okay.
Instead of halfway through the movie, you killed Dewey kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that, but at the same time, I would push back and say that this movie, more so than maybe all the previous movies, specifically the earlier trilogy, we get to, and it's partly the writing, but it's also partly just the advancements in cinema. We get to identify and feel for our characters a lot more. And when Gale and Dewey first reunite after their 10-year hiatus, and Dewey is retired, meaning that he is pretty much the stereotypical washed up cop just looking for his last chance to be a hero.
Well, they were like, why'd you leave the forest? He's like, oh, I did when they asked me to.
Yeah, when they asked me to, right? He's the washed up cop that lost himself in sorrow. And we get to learn about why him and Gale didn't work out, which is sad. Also, it's not it was a huge thing. It was Dewey's a small town guy and Gale's not a small town girl.
Yeah. And they kind of said that before.
And that's heartbreaking, right? It doesn't work. And to get to see Dewey, I would call it, I mean, it's a redemption arc that he gets to run in this movie. And it's not surprising to me. I get it for sure. Him dying in the last couple minutes, saving someone, is a little bit more meaningful, but the franchise has never been about that hero shit.
No.
Right? So Dewey's death happening when it does isn't surprising to me. It fits the mold. It makes sense. And him being the hero and dying midway through the movie, it's going to shock because we're all expecting him. If he's going to die, he's going to die taking a bullet at the very end.
That's true.
So,
well,
it catches us. It feels more
and like leads. Do you feel like the new lead as Sam is compelling? Or
so I had to think a lot about this. I don't think that Sam is a final girl. It's like a weird take. I think that Tara is our actual final girl, mostly because Sam is an interesting character in that she's not completely one. She's definitely not helpless, whereas Tara is helpless. I guess we have two kind of tropes of who final girls are. We have your badass, who is motivated by hatred and rage or other things. And we have the survivor final girl. And usually in horror, we get one or the other, right? We don't usually get two final girls. This movie gives us two final girls. We have Sam, who is a fucking badass. At the end, she not only kills the killer, but like legitimately murders
22
the killer.
Times. I stabbed him 22 times.
And cuts his throat. Yeah. Like just to fucking do it. Right? He was dead at that point anyways. He bleeding out, but she's vicious, right? And then on the other hand, we have her sister, Tara, who is, our Laurie Strode type, who is almost, she's not, the only reason she's helpless is because she is injured the entire fucking...
And she got fucking stabbed at the beginning,
Yeah, they call her a fucking pincushion, and Ghostface, uses, at some point, says something along the lines of, I'll fucking hit the good organs next time, or something like that. Ghostface knowing that he's not really trying to kill Tara, he's just trying to get at Sam. But we have two final girls, which is really cool. I think that Sam is the most complex character we've seen in the series, because I don't really know whether or not I am on team Sam or not at the end of the day. She's fucked up. Yeah. She's got a lot of shit wrong with her, right? Tara, we can get behind. Sydney,
did you like this psychological elements of Billy Loomis just talking to her in the background?
Yeah, she's fucking nuts, which makes you not necessarily want to trust everything that she does, because we know that she's not all there. She's got some fucking demons and some shit that affects not just the way that she sees the world around her and her judgment, but she knows that she doesn't make the right decision sometimes.
Comparing this to the previous films, it was definitely more gory. No question about it. Do you think it was too much? Or did you love it?
No, I think this movie was right along with par for the course of the times that we're in, dude. We are in the every single year I watch another movie that I'm like, holy fuck, that was a crazy brutal kill. Right?
Yeah, we're in just
more Terrifier.
And more.
Yeah.
We're watching Terrifier movies.
This movie's coming out the same year Terrifier's coming out. Right?
How do you watch a slasher after watching Terrifier and be like, oh yeah,
be shocked at all?
That. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't have the answer to that, but I think that this movie definitely makes you've talked a lot about how Ghostface isn't your favorite killer. And I think that it's because Ghostface is kind of a bitch. And not just one, right? But especially in the original trilogy, Ghostface isn't really scary.
No, it's
I think that we have seen Ghostface. Well, just the killer himself, though, right? And I think that in these, in 4, it starts to pick up. In this one, and then in the next one, we get to see Ghostface become an actually scary being.
Yes.
They are, whatever you want to call it, overpowered or whatever. The kills are really, really visceral, painful, brutal, personal. They have a lot of meaning and heart in the kill. And I think that's what scares us, right? And I think that's why the original Ghostface, not really that scary. But as we've grown through this series, especially in this one, we start to see Ghostface being this really intimidating force.
So we kind of talked about Amber and Richie being the killers, but did you like the killer reveal?
No. I mean, I didn't. I hated it. I knew it was going to happen eventually. It's so funny because like we've watched these movies and I feel like I've seen the killer be a stab movie fan. And I'm like, has that happened yet? Well, I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Mostly.
We have Rory Culkin's character in the last movie in Scream 4 is the closest thing we have. But I think that his character was more than anything just trying to fucking get laid.
Well, Scream 2 as well was like literally someone that.
Well, that dude was just a legitimate psychopath.
Yeah.
But
still, I think it was the same thing.
Just saying, like she found fan of the franchise is something new, and I can't believe that it hasn't been done. It took 5 movies to get there. I hated it. I get it though. It's a great commentary on the horror genre, true crime, what we do as podcasters, as people that are obsessed or that like talking about this kind of stuff. It really does shine that light on like, you guys are a problem. Like, do what you need to do, but like, you're a fucking problem.
Do you think this movie successfully passed the torch off from Sydney?
100%. Way even more than Scream 4. Yeah. I think that this was like I said earlier, take notes. Anyone that is writing this many franchised movies, if you want to do the requel or whatever you want to do, if you're passing the torch to a new generation of actors or characters, this is the fucking way to do it.
All right. I'm going to end this with best kill versus pointless kill.
Oh, I think best kill is definitely going to be, like as bad as it is, Dewey was really brutal. Yeah, it was just really, really tough.
Just like dragging that knife up.
Mm-hmm. Like double stabbed in the back. It was just really tough. Yeah.
What's the pointless kill to you?
Pointless kill. I don't necessarily want to say it's pointless, but
say the shower scene for the
oh yeah, good call to Psycho for sure.
Yeah.
Who was that in the shower again? Sorry, I'm honestly trying to remember it.
The detective's son.
Yes.
Oh, so Judy's son. The whole
I thought that scene was good though.
I thought it was like the whole concept and on the phone is like, oh yeah, but it was done in Scream 3. I was like, okay.
The
rush home.
Yeah, my pointless kill is definitely the cop.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her to die.
Well, I loved the fact that she like rushed home to save her son and just got met at the door by the fucking knife.
Yeah. And I agree, but at the same time, like if what we're dealing with is like she's going after, or the killer is going after the son anyways, I don't know. I just didn't love it.
You didn't see why she would just rush to the house?
Yeah. No, I saw that. I totally understand why. I don't know why the killer had such a big beef with her.
No, exactly. Like that was like a filler. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on, we now have Scream 6.
All right.
Directed by the same people that directed Scream 5.
Yep. Same writers, directors, right?
Same writers as Scream 5. So, Peter, tell me this plot.
All right. Scream 6 picks up after the Woodsboro murders, following the Core 4, We have Sam and Tara, who we already know, and Chad and Mindy, as they try to start over in New York City. The film opens with a brutal
Sounds
twist.
familiar.
A would-be Ghostface killer is revealed almost immediately, only to be murdered himself, signaling that this time the rules are off. In New York City, Ghostface begins targeting Sam and her friends again, framing Sam as this dangerous, unstable killer obsessed with her connection to Billy Loomis. As the body count rises, including brutal attacks on the subway and an apartment ladder sequence and a bodega, Sam's past becomes the center of the narrative, with the killer using a shrine of memorabilia from every previous Ghostface murder to taunt the survivors. The truth is revealed in the third act. The killers are the detective Wayne Bailey and his children Quinn and Ethan. They are the family of Richie Kirsch, Sam's boyfriend from Scream 5, aka Scream 2022. And this is a full-blown revenge plot. Their goal is to punish Sam for killing Richie and to finish his movie by making her embrace her violent legacy. In the final showdown at the Ghostface shrine, Sam leans into her darkness, dons the Ghostface mask herself, and brutally kills all the Baileys. Well, I guess not all the Baileys. Detective Bailey, symbolically rejecting being controlled by her past while still accepting who she is. The core four miraculously survive, again, battered but alive, proving that legacy doesn't mean destiny. And in this franchise, surviving is the ultimate rebellion.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Last in the franchise.
Very last?
Yep. I will
really
only say that I didn't like this movie as much as any of the other Scream movies. And going forward, as we've gone through this journey of watching the franchise, knowing that I have seen Scream 1 and 2, I've seen that multiple times. Yes, I have some nostalgia there, but I loved everything new that I've seen, aka 3, 4, 5, and now 6, right? I didn't hate this movie. I thought that this movie was really good, but I don't think that it's as good as any other movie in this franchise, which has set an incredibly high bar, but wasn't as good.
See, and I kind of agree with you, because I think like it was just another sequel, but I feel like the train scene with Ghostface is probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire franchise.
Okay. With both of them, right? Because we have 3 of the core 4 in one car and 1 in the other car, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought that scene was fucking incredible. Just like the lights off and then closer and closer. That was like an ultimate suspense.
Yep. I don't disagree with you. And I will, I said, I love this franchise. I love everything that they've done, including this movie. But this is the weakest installment, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. It was the hardest for me to like keep my interest in. I was like, oh yeah, now they're going to college again, just like Scream 2.
Yeah, I think that a really crazy part of this that is going to sound strange is that the Scream franchise has always done such a good job of knowing what movie it's going to show you. And this movie felt like a normal horror movie.
Yeah, for sure. They didn't like joke about it at all.
It was definitely, I mean, the meta is still baked in. We get to understand it. They tell us this is the Requel sequel, which at this point, I'm like, it's starting to almost go over my head where I don't really know what the fuck the difference is. Yes, it has to be bigger and it has to be different and all the rules are off, but it's been that way since the second one. So I'm not buying those same rules again. It doesn't make any sense to say that those are the rules because they're so new and novel to us. They're not. They're the same rules except for a couple differences here and there. You know what I mean? But it felt just like this would have been if I was going to show someone one movie from the franchise, I'd probably show them Scream 1 first, and this would probably be the second one because it's the best like normal horror movie that's not going to like annoy them, and they're not going to be like, wait, why is this person telling me about this and that about horror?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a very traditional horror movie.
Also, like, where's Sidney Prescott? Like, really? Like, she can't like be on the phone.
I don't know. Nev
You're
Campbell
just
must have some pretty
You're
premium
just
on.
gonna not put her in at all. Well, she's in the 7th one, so like,
I understand that.
what gives? Did they just not want her in it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what's missing? That's why it's so bad because Sidney's not in it?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think that Nev Campbell or Sidney Prescott necessarily carries the series. I think the writing is what does the work here. And I think that's why Kevin Williamson gets so much credit for the success of this, and the direction of Wes Craven gets so much credit. That the acting is part of it, but the direction and the writing on the movie is so good and likable that it makes you feel good as a watcher. And not that this movie didn't do that. It was just, it felt like every other whodunit horror movie I've ever seen.
See, and I felt like this would have been better if they kept that original killer and we knew who it was and
I was
everyone
so
else
pumped
didn't.
on that.
I was
like, this is genius. I
like,
love this idea.
Yes, that's fucking awesome. And then
Now
they
we
killed
know
him.
Yep.
And they killed him. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, that would have been so cool if we knew the killer the entire time. So I feel like maybe that's why this movie like didn't like live up to it, because they like put this is where there was the top of the roller coaster was at the beginning, and they were like, fuck, dude, like that would have been so sick.
Well, it would have been really cool, but like,
and what if he was just there the whole time?
That's not
what
a
if he was
novel
just talking
thing.
to them?
Yeah.
What if he was just talking? Yeah. So I feel you in the same way. I thought it would have been so sick and so smart. And I was super excited when I first saw it. I was like, what? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. When I have like huge note, like in caps, like, no way. We know who the killer is in this movie in the first 5 minutes. And now we get to watch the rest of the whole shit unfold. Awesome.
It would have been
Unfortunately,
so
that's
sick.
not the case.
Is New York City the best non-Woodsboro setting so far? Or did it lose some of the small town paranoia that makes Scream work?
I don't know. It's interesting. We've seen, I guess we don't really know where the college is that they went to in Scream 2. But Scream 4, we're back in Woodsboro. Scream 5, we're in Woodsboro. Scream 1, we're in Woodsboro. Scream 3, we're in Hollywood. Right? So pretty much what we have to ask ourselves is Hollywood a better setting or is New York a better setting? And I would honestly say, I think I don't know. I feel like the New York setting was kind of cool. It's grittier than Hollywood was. Again, we have always, like, we keep saying that Scream 3 is going to be the best movie of the series. And we keep like saying that like the setting's not as good or the writing's not as good. Like for some reason, we keep going back to Scream 3 being the best. I didn't like Hollywood too much as a setting. I think the sets were cool, but Hollywood itself was not a cool place.
Yeah. I also don't think Scream 3 is the best one anymore.
That's fair. We'll run through our rankings at the end.
I also didn't think it was. I don't know.
But New York was cool, man. You go from this rural landscape into this really condensed, claustrophobic. We get a lot of claustrophobic stuff in this, I think. Whether it's like the parties or them moving from apartment to apartment. I don't love it as much as Woodsboro because as a small town kid, I love the small towns. When we were talking to Eric, he was talking about how like, oh, Stephen King's just such a good small town. Like he really paints a good picture of a small town. It's like, that's why I love Stephen King. It's because he makes the place I grew up in feel like it's in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer your question? I think that Woodsboro is the number one place, obviously, but I think it's better than Hollywood for sure. New York.
Yes. So continuing with Sam, do you think she's still a compelling leader in this movie? Or did you think it was like kind of annoying? The whole like she's a murderer kind of thing.
No, I think that Sam is a compelling character. I wouldn't call her a compelling lead because I don't know if I want to root for her. And the lead you want to root for. Tara is a compelling lead. Right? Mm-hmm. I want to be there for Jenna Ortega. I don't know if I want to be there for Melissa Barrera. She's fucked up, dude. Like, she continuously refuses help, continuously makes the wrong decisions.
She literally was just a psychiatrist and he keeps saying no. So she's trying for help.
I know she's trying, but at the same time, it's like, dude, she's fucked up. And again, we have our dual leads. Mm-hmm. And I think that in the last one, it worked really well. I think in this one, it maybe complicated things a little. Although, as the sister duo, maybe even more so in this one, because we didn't get as much sister duo in the last one, like teaming up and fighting. We get to see them team up and fight more. I think that I just like Tara more. She's a better final girl. And for some reason, I want to root for her over Sam because I don't trust Sam.
Well, she's more relatable. She like looks over at her sister like, what the fuck are you doing? Like all the time when Sam's just like doing murderous things.
Yeah. And we have a character that obviously has like violent tendencies. And we again see Billy Loomis like showing up. Skeet Ulrich is back in this movie as this weird like vision that keeps popping in and out of her head. Which is interesting. I don't know if that like distracted you. Did you hate that or love that about either of these movies, 5 or 6?
I thought this one was like, it was like an afterthought. It was like at the very end. He's just like, his face looks like he's just like not been acting a lot, but he's just like got a lot of Botox to like make sure he could get a lot of acting roles. I'm like, that dude's getting
speaking of Botox, dude, Courtney Cox. In 5 and 6 is like, whoa. Yeah. I think she's like the hottest in Scream 4.
Yeah. Well, best character reveal. Kirby's back.
Oh, and I didn't like her in this movie. Well, not that I didn't like her.
They just didn't give her justice. They were going to try to pin her as the killer. Like, she's not the killer.
No, and I knew she wasn't the killer. That one didn't fool me for a fucking second. There's this scene with her and Mindy where they're like, again, they're doing this thing that the movie or the franchise has always done, where it's like, it's kind of gatekeepy, where they're saying like, oh, how well do you know horror kind of thing. It was like almost awkward to watch where Mindy and Kirby are talking about the best horror and whether Candyman 2000 or like Candyman 2020 and Candyman like 1995 or whatever was better. And they say both, or like, that scene was just so it was uncomfortable to watch to me. It was weird. I didn't like it because there was a couple of those.
You don't like two young girls talking about horror movies that they like.
That's not it.
Wow, Pete. What the fuck?
I just felt like it was like, it's kind of lame, right? This movie franchise has been so smart.
They do that the whole time.
And maybe I was just in a different mood or something. But 100%, I thought it was weird and forced. I thought we were forced in a couple different situations in this movie to like, we didn't feel like in Scream 5, we have some emotional moments, specifically like the Gail and Dewey reunion and Dewey's death and like a couple other spots that are like, man, they're putting us in this situation and they're making us feel a lot, but it feels natural. It means a lot to be in this. And then there was a couple of these where like the emotional scenes didn't feel like they felt forced. Like I was supposed to care. And if I didn't, I wasn't right or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I'm saying the subway scene to me is like one of the best kill scenes in the whole franchise.
Yeah.
What'd you feel about like the ladder scene?
The ladder scene I thought was just kind of silly.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I think there were this one like more. We talked about the Scream 5 being pretty brutal. This one is taking that to another level.
Yes.
I don't know if you have it. You're asking at the end, but the most brutal kill, and I don't know why we haven't seen it yet, is the double stabbing of Derek.
Yeah.
Is awful to watch, dude. It's like, my God, dude. Like they are just like, you can see the blood flying and you can see they're like digging in and he is like going through it. Oh, the most brutal murder in, I think, probably the franchise so far.
Yeah. I had to look away for
killing.
sure.
And I don't know why I haven't seen, right? All but one of the movies have been a double Ghostface. And why we haven't seen that happen yet is kind of crazy.
It's also, can we talk about the fact that this is the first Scream movie where the killer talks in the Scream outfit? Because I thought that was crazy. Like they never have talked in the whole Scream outfit up until this one. Everything else
unless they're on the phone.
Yeah.
That happens in the theater.
Yes, it happens the entire movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it happens a little bit in Scream 5, but the whole Scream 6 is just Ghostface talking the whole time.
Interesting.
Which makes sense.
I honestly didn't notice that.
Well, it makes sense because of the technology where you can just
the voice. I mean, we see them click it on, right?
Yeah. Well, before you literally have to have like a fucking giant piece like this to do it. So
yeah,
now you're probably you put a little mouthpiece and it does it.
Yeah, exactly. The advances technology is something that we didn't address at all, but the movie's kind of evolved with not just technology, but with the times.
Yeah. So you already talked about your favorite kill.
Yeah.
But what new rule do you think Scream 6 introduces and actually will stick?
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I have the 3 rules here. Everything is bigger. Whatever happened last time, expect the opposite. And rule 3, no one is safe. Legacy characters die. This one teased us. I felt like, I don't know, there was the only people that died in this movie were people that weren't part of the movie. Right? We have her
everyone
counselor.
Survived. Yeah.
We have the Ghostface. We have the roommate that falls off the ladder. Right? Is that it?
No, but she doesn't. No, that was
no. The one roommate does die. Yeah.
Homegirl's love interest. Yeah.
Yeah. The girl that gets knocked off the ladder dies, and it's gross and brutal. Yep.
But she wasn't a roommate. She was
on the fucking. Oh yeah, you're right.
She was homegirl's girlfriend.
Mindy's girlfriend.
Yeah, Mindy's girlfriend. Yeah. Well, so would you say that Scream 6 is a survival movie more than a mystery movie or a whodunit?
No, I think it still has those super classic tropes that we have come to know Scream for, where it is a who did this kind of thing. Yes, we have Jenna Ortega getting fucked up again. Mindy gets fucked up. Chad's fucked up. I keep forgetting that these characters didn't actually die. No one died, which is the craziest thing, especially as soon as they said the word Core 4. I'm like, well, that's going to fucking end. And we end the movie with them all being alive, which I didn't expect at all. I thought that at least 2 out of the 4 were going to be dead, if not more.
I kind of hoped too. That sucks to say, but like, all right, you can't just like have 4 people continue to survive for every movie.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though. I think that's why the movie also felt a little flat, is because the stakes don't really get escalated, right? The characters that died, the only one that we really even knew was Mindy's girlfriend, who was like in the movie for like 10 minutes before she dies.
Sense. Well, so you say
whereas
you're
in Scream 5, we have Dewey dying.
Yeah,
that's a fucking
I was super pissed.
Blow to your heart.
Yeah. So you rank this movie as the worst in the franchise, would you say?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And there's and again, I would still, like, if I had to put it on a number scale, I'd put it like at an 8. It was a really good movie. I just don't think that it was anywhere as good as the rest of them.
So if Scream 4 was about fame, Scream 5 was about legacy, Scream 6 was about revenge, are these movies all telling the same story in a different era of internet culture?
Ooh. Man, that is a really good question. I think the series itself, the franchise, has done such a fantastic job of adapting to the norms and the cultures. They feel of a time, I guess I would say. And so also what they've done really well with these the new ones, I'd say 5 in particular, is that we have Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z all in the same movie.
Yeah.
And having them interact with each other is super funny and super cool. It creates a lot of laughs. David Arquette's character has some really funny shit, as well as Jack Quaid is always like super funny. He's super flat, but also has just the funniest lines. I remember when he's talking about when they meet with Dewey for the first time in Scream 5, and he's like, do I really have to listen to like knock off Sam Elliott or something like that? I can't remember what exactly the quote is.
Dude. Yeah, exactly. Like,
but he's just like ripping on him, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I think that the movie's done a really good job of encapsulating the culture of the time, especially like getting into the internet culture. Scream 4 in particular did such a good job of saying, hey, this is going to be a problem in the future.
Jill Roberts wanted to be famous for surviving. Richie wanted to be famous for being in the movies. And Billy wanted revenge. Which motives feels more like Scream?
I loved Jill. I think Jill was my favorite reveal. She is like, it's the one that makes to me the most sense. She's obviously not well, but the jealousy thing is super understandable.
Makes sense. Like, she literally, like, Emma Roberts is so good at being
holy
a
shit,
villain.
dude. When she, especially at the end of the movie, when she is like launching herself around the fucking living room, just like smashing through tables, stabbing herself, ripping her own hair out with a dead person's hand, shit like that. Oh my God, dude. What a fucking performance.
And it doesn't end there. Like, literally, instead of it just being like the same as all the other Screams, like, all right, this moves to the hospital where we have another kind of plot twist. So looking at Scream 4, 5, and 6 as a trilogy about obsession, has the franchise evolved, or are we just watching Ghostface adapt to new platforms and new audiences?
I think that we are seeing, I don't see this necessarily as a trilogy. I think that we have Scream 4 as kind of a standalone. And then obviously Scream 5 and 6 communicate within each other, right? We have a new cast of characters. You're not wrong in saying that like obsession is the key to all of this. Obsession, retribution, like human emotions are the guiding force, and specifically 6 and 5, or 6 and 4. 5, 5 is, I think if I had a better ending, 5 would be my favorite. but I hate that it's just people who wanted a better movie.
That leads perfectly into your absolute ranking of Scream movies.
All right. So I'm going to go with Scream.
Go from the least to the first.
Okay. Definitely Scream 6. Okay. All right. And then in 5th place will be Scream 1.
Ooh, whoa. All right.
Okay. And 4th place will be Scream 2.
Okay.
3rd place is going to be Scream 3. And then it's going to go Scream 4 and then Scream 5.
Scream 5 is your number one favorite.
I think so.
Okay.
Talking about it. There's also like a huge that we didn't really talk about, like the homage to Halloween 2 that was done in Scream 5, where we have Laurie Strode or Tara stuck in the hospital fighting for her life. Like you take out the scene with the dude and the chick in the hot tub that we loved from Scream 2 or from Halloween 2, and we literally like it's directly in conversation with that movie. They're like, yep, that worked really well. Let's do that.
Exactly. Other than the hot tub scene, the nurse hot tub scene. He said, all right, so I'll do my definitive rankings. And this is going to be I'm going to do Scream 2 as 6.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do Scream 4.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to do Scream 3.
Okay.
I'm going to do Scream 1. I'm going to do Scream 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Scream 5.
And Scream 5 is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Super interesting.
I loved these two new ones.
I didn't love Scream 6, but I loved Scream 5, which is interesting.
Well, the same reason why I liked Scream 3 is the same reason why I liked Scream 6. Like, it had a muddled, like, kind of rushed whole plot. But, like, the fucking murders and the suspense scenes were fucking dynamite. Like, that, like, subway scene to me was the fucking best, like, scary scene in all the Screams.
It's tough to compete with modern horror, dude. Just the effects and the way that people are making films now. Everyone just keeps pushing themselves like to the next level of who can be the best and like how to make things better. And you know, it's tough to compare movies that are made 30 years apart. It's tough, exactly. But you're not wrong.
No, but like we've been doing this for a long time, and we have rated Halloween 1 as number 1. No, but like Scream 1 is not my favorite.
Yeah. It's not my favorite either, but I have to give it its due.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it paved the way. Like literally, like people were afraid to call movies horror until Scream came out, and they're like, we're a horror movie. And then they're like, oh, us too.
Yeah. I also do have to give you some cred. You've talked about this for a long time, but Sidney Prescott's husband is named, is it Mark in Scream 4?
I don't think they say it. When did I talk about this?
Sorry, it will be in Scream 5. But Mark Kincaid is the name of the detective from Scream 3. So I believe that you nailed it on the head, that Sydney and the detective get together at the end. What a sweet story. That leads us into our predictions for Scream 7, which to a source that I have, right? I'm not the trailer guy. I think that's your domain. But I have inside sources that Scream 7 is about Sydney's children.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And
I didn't even know that.
Her daughter's
I'm intentionally
name
not looking.
Is Tatum.
Real okay. Interesting.
Call back to the first movie.
Yep. Which
McGowan's.
Again, we still don't know who Sam's mom is.
But Sam's not in it.
I know.
Sam and Homegirl, I think Jenna Ortega's characters are not in it.
Yeah.
But Mindy and her brother are.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And we know Matthew Lillard's going to make a comeback. We don't know if it's going to be like a Skeet Ulrich type where he's going to be like a weird vision or something, right? Now that it's even funnier now that you say that Mindy and Chad are going to be in it, that maybe they make like a weird Skeet, although we already did it. I don't think they'll do that again. The franchise is too smart for that.
Mm-hmm. Where they like just have Jamie Kennedy's.
They can't just have visions of Jamie Kennedy.
No.
No. I'm not. Oh, I guess. Sorry. I got Jamie Kennedy and Matthew Lillard mixed up. They're not related to Matthew Lillard. They're related to Jamie Kennedy. Somehow.
Jamie Kennedy. Somehow. Well, I'm eager to figure it out.
Yeah.
I know that Jenna Ortega and them like walked away from the film and there was like controversial reasons, but like
I know that it's a lot to do with political shit, dude. Melissa Barrera had some things to say on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and it was bad press. Melissa Barrera, who plays Sam.
She was Sam.
Yeah.
Had things about
the Israel-Palestine conflict and had some issue with the studio about it. And they're like, that's fine. We'll fucking get Nev Campbell to come back. And she's like, sweet, I'll come back. Which is like a little tough, especially because they all work together in 5. And you know, it's just, it's a tough business. Let's hope that the movie doesn't suffer for that, because
it just sucks that like, I hate personally where like everyone lets political views like get in the way of what they want to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think like, they're actors, they're actresses, like at the end of the day, like, but studio heads as well. Like, unless you are we don't even need to get into this, unless you're like a foreign diplomat or you understand geopolitical machinations, like none of us have real information. So we're all going to make an uninformed decision based on emotion.
No, exactly. Like, I don't understand why we have to continue to just like have opinions and not talk to people because of it. Like, I wish that we could just like okay, I have different opinions, and this is something that we obviously have no opinion about. If we did, we'd be fucking over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
We'd be in Israel, like fighting the good fight. Instead, we're in fucking Hollywood complaining about it.
Yeah. Any other huge? Yeah, that's
sorry.
Kind of beside the point. This is not our business. Like, I feel like we try to stay out of this.
Both sides, dude. Both sides can fucking fuck off, in my opinion.
Do you have any like big predictions for 7?
Other than the fact that I think Matthew Lillard is back, and I don't think he's the killer.
Interesting. Okay.
If he's the killer, I want him to be like at the beginning.
Yeah. I have one big prediction.
What is it?
I think that Sidney Prescott dies. I think that she understands the pain that her life, not by her own doing, but that her living has caused everyone around her. I think she sacrificially like offers herself up or puts herself in a place that she can't get out of, where she knows she's going to die for the betterment of humanity, because that's the kind of final girl that we get with Sidney Prescott, where she's not afraid. She's never been afraid. And she's elevated. She's a different final girl than we've ever gotten. And I think that it is 100% within her range to say, fuck it. You know what? This is all because of me. This ends here.
Yeah. I respect it.
That's where I see something happen like that.
All right. Well, we've been talking for damn near 2 hours about 3 movies.
Damn near.
Hey,
dude, I have to thank you for going on this adventure with me. I know that Scream is not your favorite franchise, but it is mine. And I am super fucking pumped. Even having gone through these later movies, I love this franchise. It is so fucking good.
I'm going to tell you, I am definitely going to be first in line for Scream 7 at this point.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to see it.
Color me converted. However, like, is it my favorite like slasher franchise? Probably not.
Probably not.
Am I completely happy that I watched all these? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a different take for sure. Like, I'm invested.
Yep.
Did I like the newer ones a little bit better? Yeah. But like, it seems like I always do. Like,
yeah. I think that this franchise as a whole it's just the smartest franchise I know of. And I think that it's clever, it's sneaky, it does all the right things, and maybe it's sometimes in your face about it, but I don't think that it's demeaning at any point. And I think that it just, as a horror fan, you can feel the passion that's coming from those involved with the project, that they are also, it's a franchise of horror for horror fans.
Well, with that being said, thank you so much for listening. Please give a big like and subscribe to us.
Get up in the chat.
Please subscribe. Please, please, please. We're doing a very good job, and you know that.
And Donald Trump.
Yeah. And please remember to stay wicked.
And weird. And wasted. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.